Oh, I'm with the Biden campaign.
Yeah. I voted for Biden last time.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Everything costs more. Food, gas, rent.
Okay, but Biden's helping pay rent for newcomers to America from around the world.
You mean illegal immigrants? I'm struggling to pay my bills, but Biden's paying rent for illegals? They get handouts and I'm paying for it.
But Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertisement.
What a great ad. What a great ad. That is one of the best ads I've come across. I mean, in ages. I mean, it's simple, it's to the point, it's quick, and it is clearly, as we're about to find out, it is clearly expressing the sentiments of more and more people. And this is part of the horrible news that bumbling Biden is getting as of today. Wait until you see this. Greetings, everyone. It is I, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. We have a special live stream Wednesday tonight. So a very, very happy Wednesday night to all of you. If you were with us for our live stream last night, that was our special Tuesday night live stream. We had an amazing night. It was a 2-hour live stream where we premiered our brand new Turley Talks app, our very own platform that can never, ever, ever be canceled. We built this private platform in response to the recent news that we got that YouTube has, if you can believe it, they have once again demonetized us for the second time in a row. We complied with everything they required of us in the first demonetization back in November. And unfortunately, when we reapplied, they moved the goalposts and they came up with an entirely new infraction to keep us completely demonetized for the foreseeable future. According to Google and YouTube, our channel, you can see it right there, our channel now features, quote, harmful content. Our videos are now deemed harmful to YouTube's audience, and we have been cut off from any and all monetization for the foreseeable future. But what the International Woke Police did not know when they were canceling us here is that we've been preparing for this moment just like this, for the last several months. We unveiled last night what we're calling our ARC, our brand new Turley Talks app. It's a beautiful personal. You can see it there. It's just so gorgeous. I love it. I sleep with it next to me, nestled. No, I don't. No, I'm not that pathetic. It is a beautiful personal app that you can download completely free, as well as join one of our levels of support to help us financially during this difficult time. Just click on that link below. Go to fight.turleytalks.com. You see it right there, fight.turleytalks.com, to make an account and download the app. And after you make an account, check your inbox for a special welcome where you can read and sign our Declaration of Restoration. That's the petition to big tech that you can sign and put your name on it that informs these big tech tyrants that they are no longer in control. A new day is dawned, and we are taking our nation back. It was so awesome last night, gang. I just got the numbers. We have over 3,000 downloads. I think it's 3,100, over 3,100 downloads. So let us know in the chat if you have successfully downloaded. We want to see what you think. And like last night, we've got some free giveaways for you guys tonight. We're so appreciative of you coming to our rescue here and downloading this app. We've got a free giveaway. We're calling it Office Hours with Dr. Steve. One of you will be selected. We got this really cool, digitalized randomizer. And one of you be selected to have a virtual call, one-on-one with me, your Patriot Professor. But you got to stick around for when your name is called, when I take attendance, to claim your prize, as it were. So download that app right now. Again, it's a completely free download. Don't even need a smartphone. It works on your computer. It works on your iPad, whatever electronic device you got. Just download it by clicking on that link below or going to fight.turleytalks.com. That is fight.turleytalks.com. Make a free account by just filling out your login information, and boom, you got immediate access to the app. You can check out all my videos totally free from any big tech censorship. And we're going to draw from the names of those of you who download the app tonight to have a one-on-one virtual call with me, your Patriot Professor. Also, you may have noticed this beautiful Liberty Bell beside me. This was specially made just for this, the launch of this app. This bell is part of an ancient biblical symbol of freedom. It's not coincidental that we have something called the Liberty Bell. The bell is a beautiful symbol of freedom and independence. It goes all the way back to the Israelite high priest who used to wear bells when he would go in and minister into the Holy of Holies, the most sacred place in all the world for the Hebrews. And no one else could go in and no one could see him because he was hidden behind a veil. And it was so holy, he could be struck dead. And so you knew the priest was alive and well as long as you heard the sound of the bell. He had bells all over him and he was making the ritualized, gestures. The bells would make sounds, and that let the Hebrews know that their sins were being atoned for. And so when the great high priest himself came, Christ, the bell became the symbol of the taking away of the sins of the world. So it's a beautiful sound of freedom and independence. And for those of you who sign up for one of our levels of support tonight to help us during these financial difficulties, at the end of this live stream, I'm going to give you a big shout out and I'm going to ring the bell on your behalf and announce your name and the tier you signed up for, because we're so appreciative for your help during this time. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Like I said, we got some bad news for old Joe. Things, like I said, it's being widely reported. Things are looking really bad for this guy. And of course, we're talking once again about the Bloomberg poll that just dropped of the various swing states. The latest Bloomberg Morning Consult poll has Trump once again leading Biden in 6 of the 7 swing states. And this after especially Morning Consult was being touted as over the last 3 weeks as showing, the polls are tightening up. Oh, look, Biden is going to run away with it. That's where all we're hearing from Joe Scarborough and all these guys. Well, that so-called Biden surge is over. Trump is now beating Biden by 7 in Arizona. He's up 6 in Georgia. He's up 8 in Nevada. But mark my word, at this point, Trump is going to take Nevada. He's going to be the first president, I think, first Republican since George W. Bush to take Nevada. He's up 10 in North Carolina. North Carolina isn't even competitive at this point. Trump is up by 1 in Pennsylvania. We'll talk about the Pennsylvania primaries that took place yesterday. We'll talk about that in anon. And he's up by 4 in Wisconsin, which is he's breaking away. Wisconsin is amazing. The one exception, interestingly enough, is Michigan, because Trump in the Real Clear Politics aggregate, the polling averages, is he's beating Biden pretty handily in Michigan. But Bloomberg poll found Biden winning Michigan by 2. Altogether, Trump is beating Biden in the swing states by an average of 6 points. 6 points. That's pretty dominant, gang. That is pretty. He doesn't have to go far before he starts hitting double-digit leads here. Now, to make it even worse, even the single most pro-Biden pollster out there, Quinnipiac, has them both tied, both in their head-to-head and a 5-way contest. So I don't believe they've ever had Trump ahead, ever. And even Quinnipiac now shows that not only the Biden surge that never really was is gone, but it's Trump who is now beginning to run away with this. When all is said and done, the reason behind these numbers of Biden falling and Trump rising, when all is said and done, what's plaguing Biden, we're talking absolutely plaguing him, is his low approval ratings when it comes to every single major issue out there. Everyone. Rich Barris was talking about this on Jack Posobiec's program today. He was on for a full hour. It was a great discussion. You can check it out on Twitter, on social media. But great analysis. You take every single issue out there, right? Illegal immigration, southern border, the economy, inflation, unemployment, violent crime, every single one. Boom, boom, boom. The top priorities of voters. Trump is crushing Biden in every single issue. We're talking double-digit crushing. When all is said and done, virtually every poll out there shows that the vast majority of voters believes that Trump was the better president. There's just no way around it. I mean, this is what is killing Biden, and he can't seem to escape, like I said, this polling plague here. And we talked about this a lot, going into November. We have to understand that what Trump has in terms of his advantage is he's the first ever hybrid candidate, right? He's part incumbent, part candidate, or as Rich Barris would say, he's part incumbent, part insurgent. I like that because of the alliteration. So as such, he has the easiest, most persuasive election pitch imaginable. When I was president, things were great. Biden came in and messed everything up. Vote for me, and I'll make things great again. The Make America Great Again moniker for Trump has never been more applicable than it is in 2024. Things were great. America was great when I was president. Biden came in and messed America up. Vote for me, and I'll make America great again. It really is the simplest, most persuasive election pitch imaginable. And so this is why Trump is outperforming his polls both from 2016 and 2020, right? Remember, again, just to put this all in perspective, Trump never polled this well before, ever. He never had leads like this, either in 2016 or in 2020. He led Clinton a couple of times in the national polling. There was some very, very tight neck and neck polling in the swing states. He never led Biden in 2020. Never, nationally, never. And forget Wisconsin. Some of the polls gave Biden a 17-point lead in Wisconsin. It was just absolutely, what was that, Emerson? I can't remember. Just crazy. But you have to understand, Trump never, ever even came close to polling this way, either in 2020 or 2016. He is stronger today than he has ever been. He is in a better position to win the White House today than he was in 2016 when he won. There's just absolutely no way around that. And I would say in 2022, but, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And to make it even more exciting, we've talked about this a lot, Trump also consistently outperforms his polling, while Biden consistently underperforms his polling. So we're talking about, of course, on election day, right? And the total amount of votes. Trump consistently outperforms his polls, while Biden consistently underperforms his polls. Again, Barris was talking about this with Sobek today. Trump outperforms his polls, overperforms by about close to about 3 percentage points. It's like 2.6 and change, I think Rich was saying today. So if he's up 5 over Biden in one of these swing states, he's actually poised to win by about 8 in the general election. We saw that in Ohio in 2020 and in 2016. He was up over Hillary and Biden by around like 4, 5, 6 points, but he ends up winning by like 8 or 10, right? Same in Iowa as well. In the general election, he will outperform these polls. Biden will underperform these polls. So what does that mean? Well, if Biden is up 2 in Michigan, Trump most likely is going to win by 3, maybe even 4, given how Trump overperforms by 3 and Biden underperforms, I think, by 3 as well, right? Biden was supposed to win 2020 by 7 points, according to the Real Clear polling average. He ended up winning, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, by 4. So I think he underperforms by 3. Trump overperforms by 3. So, I mean, the news gets even worse for Biden in that sense. What this means, and again, this is coming also from the analysis of, I should just have Rich on tonight. I don't know why, but I'm just giving you a summary of some of the analysis I was privy to today. What this means is that the swing voter is Biden's worst nightmare right now. The swing voter. The swing voter is Biden's worst nightmare. That is not someone you want to have as your worst nightmare. you want the swing voter to be your most lofty dream, right? Again, we have data on this. It's not even comparable. The amount of 2020 voters who voted for Biden, who are now ready to vote for Trump in 2024, can't even remotely compare to the amount of 2020 voters that voted for Trump who are now going to vote for Biden. They are literally, I don't even think they're on the map. They're minuscule. There's hardly any of them out there. Whether Biden likes it or not, this is just the data again. You can't beat the data, all right? More 2020 voters who voted for Biden are ready to jump ship and vote for Trump in 2024 than the other way around. There's virtually nobody who voted for Trump in 2020 ready to jump ship and vote for Biden. All right. But there are tons of Biden 2020 voters who are saying, mea culpa, I made a mistake, I'm jumping ship, and I'm going back with Trump. Because why? Because when Trump was president, things were pretty darn good. Biden came in, messed everything up. I vote for Trump, and things are going to get good again. The swing voter is Biden's worst nightmare right now. And they are the ones who are just propelling Trump's poll numbers with these huge leads over Biden in these swing states. Now, we need to talk about the Pennsylvania primary yesterday, because we're getting some very interesting data coming in with those numbers you're going to be very fascinated by. But before we do, if you are just joining us, we made the announcement last night. YouTube has unfortunately once again demonetized our channel for a second time in a row. We complied with everything they required of us in the first demonetization back in November. And unfortunately, when we reapplied, they moved the goalposts and they came up with an entirely new infraction to keep us completely demonetized for the foreseeable future. As you can see, we are now guilty, according to YouTube, we're now guilty of uploading harmful content on our channel, harmful content of controversial issues. And so we are completely demonetized for the foreseeable future, but we were prepared for just a time as this. We unveiled last night on our live stream what we are calling our ARC, our brand new Turley Talks app, our very own platform that can never, ever be canceled. It is cancel proof, the very definition thereof. It's a beautiful personal app that you can download completely free, as well as join one of our levels of support to help us out financially during this time. And by the way, that's how you can ask me questions tonight, since our super chats have been disabled. Think about, when's the last time we've been able to have a super chat on our live stream? Well, just click on the link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com and you can join any tier, any level of monthly support, and you'll be automatically enrolled in our Insiders Club. And that's where you can have access to our backstage private virtual platform where you can ask me any question you like, and I'll be happy to answer that tonight, just as a token of my appreciation to you. Also, for those of you who sign up for one of our levels of support at the end here, I'm going to give you a big shout out. I'm going to announce your name. I'm going to ring our brand new Liberty Bell. Let's hear it. I love it. I'm going to ring our brand new Liberty Bell on your behalf to honor you as a defender of freedom and standing up in defiance of tech tyranny. So let us know in the chat if you successfully downloaded the app. Again, it's for Android, it's for iPhone, it's for laptops, desktops, iPads, you name it. Whatever your electronic device, it's available in all the app stores under Turley Talks. Let us know if you've successfully downloaded in the chat. We had, as of last night, over 3,000 downloads. So thank you guys. You're amazing. It's absolutely incredible. Let's keep that number going. And please share that this URL, fight.turleytalks.com. Share that with friends and family, the patriots in your life. The more people downloading this free app, the better. Also, for all of you download the app tonight, you're going to be entered into a special free giveaway. We're calling it Office Hours with Dr. Steve. One of you will be selected at random to have a one-on-one virtual call with me, your Patriot Professor. I'm going to invite you into my office. We're going to have office hours together, but you got to stick around when your name is called, when I call attendance, to claim your prize. So download that app right now. Again, it's completely free download. Just click on that link below or go to fight.turleytalks.com. That is fight.turleytalks.com, and we will be drawing our first name in mere moments. All right, let's talk about Pennsylvania here. It was Pennsylvania had their primaries yesterday. And well, let's just start with the most embarrassing part of it all. Biden only got 88% of the vote. And you gotta let this hit you. He only got 88% of the vote. He was unchallenged, and he is the incumbent. Okay, you do not want to be in the 80s when you are an incumbent. That is horrifying. The benchmark is 90. Got to be at least 90%. By comparison, Trump got 93% of the vote in 2020 primary. There was still a little bit of your never Trumper vote, about 7%. But even with that, he still got 93% of the vote in 2020. And then, of course, that's before he went on to, quote, lose Pennsylvania by 80,000 votes that were somehow found in the middle of the night, of course. Now, by contrast, yesterday, Trump got more votes in the Republican primary than any non-incumbent candidate in Pennsylvania's primary history. I'll say that again. Trump got more votes yesterday in the Republican primary in Pennsylvania than any non-incumbent candidate in history. Once again, he's shattering records. That's the key. You got to get this. Every single primary, every single caucus, he is shattering turnout records. He's shattering. Trump has shored up a high propensity pro-Trump vote that is absolutely fired up to vote for him. Election day 2024, November 20, election day is going to be epic. All right. Now, we're going to talk about that in a minute because we got to talk about mail-in voting. But we can be sure that election day 2024, at this point, based on all the data that we're seeing coming out of all of these different primaries and caucuses, it is going to be epic. No one does voter turnout like Trump. Stunning. Now, he got 83% of the vote. Nikki Haley got the rest. And you're going to see online some never Trumper, pro Hillary Haley types. Yes, they're still out there. And what they're saying is, you see, Trump only got 83% of the vote. It proves he can't win. He can't win Pennsylvania. If Hillary Haley's stealing that many votes from him, there's no way Biden's going to clean his clock. Now, a couple of things here. First and foremost, the data is in. 40% of Hillary Haley's vote was mail-in voting. Okay, so the 40%, 53%, if I recall, of Biden's vote was mail-in. Are you seeing a pattern there? These were mailed in weeks ago. And if the pattern that characterized Haley's vote in Iowa and New Hampshire and South Carolina and Michigan holds, most of those voters, super majority of those voters, were Democrats who would never vote for in November. So it's an artificial vote. Okay, so that's first. But then secondly, and this is most important here, Trump got 83% of the vote in the Republican primary. Biden got 88% of the vote in the Democrat primary. Trump got 83, Biden got 85. Trump is getting virtually the same voting percentage as the incumbent president is getting. And keep in mind, Trump is not the incumbent. He does have challengers, as it were. Not only did Trump get more votes than any non-incumbent presidential candidate in Pennsylvania's history, but he performed nearly as well as the sitting incumbent president who's running unchallenged. So this was a huge, huge embarrassment for Biden and a big win for Trump. Now, there is a very key takeaway for the Republicans coming out of the Pennsylvania primary. And that key takeaway is that the Republicans are absolutely going to have to launch an all-out effort at tapping into what are called low propensity voters. Low propensity voters. And they have to do that through ballot harvesting initiatives. That's absolutely key. They have to do that through ballot harvesting initiatives, mail-in voting. Remember, Pennsylvania allows for mail-in vote ballot, again, for better or for worse. That's just the way it is. With Josh Shapiro as the governor there, the Democrat, nothing's going to change on that. But they allow for mail-in ballots, I believe, starting 50 days before the election, almost 2 months before the election. Okay, so this election begins in Pennsylvania in September. It's not far away. And low propensity voters are voters who, by definition, do not necessarily turn out to vote. That's what a low propensity voter is. High propensity voters, you can't keep them from voting, right? They're the ones who are showing up at these primaries. You can't keep a high propensity voter from voting. They will vote. There's no way around it, right? And they are generally election day voters. They turn out in mass. But low propensity voters, by definition, do not necessarily turn out to vote. Now, if you don't know, we've got the data on this. Trump is absolutely crushing it. Our luck, right? Trump is absolutely crushing it with so-called low propensity voters. Take a look at this survey. This is fascinating. All right. Among voters who did not vote in either 2020 or in 2022, Trump has a 22-point lead over Biden. This is why you cannot blame Trump for the midterm loss in 2022. We talked about this. This is before even the data came in. J.D. Vance wrote a very good essay on this just a day or two after the disappointing midterms. He pointed out now that the working class voter is a Republican voter, they've switched. They used to be Democrats. Now they're Republicans, particularly the white working class, but increasingly the non-white working class. Now that there are voters, guess what? One problem, working class voters tend to be low propensity voters, right? They're like the Swamp People, one of my favorite shows on the History Channel. Are you seen the Swamp? Right? Was it Troy Landry, Swamp People? Shoot 'em. It's one of my favorite. But these are Cajun guys who are out gator hunting. They don't even know an election's happening. It's not because of anything. They're living their lives. They live a literal parallel economy, like the Amish. They don't know an election is happening. Okay, so Trump has a 22-point lead. MAGA has a 22-point lead among these voters who didn't come out to vote in 2022. You can't blame Trump for 2022. So, and 2020 as well. By the way, this is why they also stopped voter registration drives in Pennsylvania. They found that most people were registering to vote were registering Republicans so they could vote for Trump in the primary. But the key here, and again, Rich Barris was talking about this, Red Eagle Politics is talking about this, in terms of the takeaway from Pennsylvania, it is absolutely crucial that the Republicans get their early voting game on, precisely because these low propensity voters who are overwhelmingly prone to vote Trump are by definition not reliable election day voters. So these are precisely the voters you want to do ballot harvesting with. These are the voters that you want to make sure cast their vote by ballot or by mail, right? Or at ballot harvesting centers, whatever, like evangelical churches, gun shows, wherever patriots tend to congregate, tend to frequent. You got literally 50 days to collect a massive, massive number of early votes from these low propensity voters who give Trump a 22 percent edge. And then what you do is you keep up with or even overtake Biden in the early voting because of that strategy. And then you absolutely crush the Democrats on election day, which always favors Republicans, and Republicans tend to be high propensity voters. So nothing is going to stop the high propensity voter from coming out on election day, again, by definition. To be high propensity, right? You had to have voted I think every election in the last 10 years or so. So they're going to come out in droves for Trump, and he's going to crush it in these swing states on election day. But just to drive this home again, it's 52. I think I said 53. 52% of Biden's vote yesterday in the primary was mail-ins. Let that hit you. More than half. That's what we're going to see on election day, right? Or leading up to election. Over 50% of Biden's vote, it was like with Fetterman in Pennsylvania. And Oz simply could not overcome that massive mail-in deficit. More than half of the Democrat vote is going to be mail-in. Compare that to Trump. Trump's mail-in vote yesterday, 15%. 50% to 15%. That's a huge discrepancy. And I guarantee you that low propensity voter who will vote for Trump by double digits, by 22 points, did not come out yesterday to vote in a primary. That did not happen. So what you got to make sure now is you've got to get that mail-in vote game on big time, reach those voters, get their ballots, send them in, one-on-one parity with Democrats, and come election day, we'll crush it. We'll crush it. So Republicans are going to have to get their mail-in ballot game on big time. Fortunately, Scott Pressler is there in Pennsylvania. Scott's there. EVA is there. Early vote action. That's their jam, man. That's what they do. They're ready to absolutely crush it with mail-in voting, and that's going to make all the difference. So, needless to say, things are not looking particularly good for Biden. Remember, if Trump wins Pennsylvania, it's over, assuming he wins all the states he won in 2020, which he should do handily. All he needs is Pennsylvania, and it's over. So this is absolutely amazing stuff. All right, gang, let's do our first drawing here. You've been most patient and kind. Remember, we are drawing names from those of you who downloaded our free app. And if I call your name, you're going to have a private one-on-one virtual call with me or Patriot Professor. We're calling it Office Hours with Dr. Steve. And my first student who has office hours with me tonight is little spin. I'm getting hypnotized. Here we go. It is B. Schulman. Hopefully it's not B.S. Holman, right? B. Schulman. I don't know. But hey, man, it is, or ma'am. It will be wonderful to meet you. Just contact us at freedom@turleytalks.com. That is freedom@turleytalks.com to claim your prize. I can't wait to meet you online for our office hours. We're going to have a wonderful chat. Let's turn it over to you. If you want to ask me your questions, remember, just click on that link below, fight.turleytalks.com, and join any support tier. You'll automatically be enrolled in our Insiders Club, where we have a virtual platform that you can ask me any question in lieu of our super chats being suspended because of our demonetization. Over to you. Any questions? What do you got for me, Josh? Baron Nivola, how do you go about stopping cheating? Yeah, all right. So obviously we're going into this knowing that that could happen, right? Obviously. It's not. How did I even put it that way? Talk about being unprepared. It's going to happen. So what do we do about it? The main thing, as I understand it, based on what people like Barris are saying, Red Eagle are talking about, the data crunchers, when all is said and done, we've just got to overwhelm them in the vote. We've got to overwhelm them. We're talking 3-4%. That goes beyond the margin of fraud. You can only do so much fraud before it becomes radically obvious, right? Before you have 200,000 votes coming out of a county that only has 100,000 residents, right? And then now all of a sudden, wait a minute, now something is happening here. and election officials are going to they'll have no choice but to address that. So you can pad the margins in Philly and in Pittsburgh and the like, and they're certainly in Chicago and LA and New York. You can pad those margins, but you can't go beyond about 1-2%. And so what we have to do is we have to overwhelm them. So that's number one. And we do that with EVA, early vote action. That's what the organization Scott Pressler is a part of. And that is where we amass. We've got to amass. Fortunately, Laura Trump and Mike Whatley, who's the RNC chair, he's been doing a great job, by the way, in North Carolina. He was the Republican chairman of the North Carolina Republican Party, and he helped North Carolina become a supermajority. So he's done a supermajority in their state legislature for the Republicans. So so both Laura and I think Mike are poised to do this. But if we tap into early vote action, EVA, I believe they're eva.org. Check them out. We're not affiliated with them in any way, but so this is just for the good of the country here. Definitely contact them. You can contact Scott Pressler on Twitter. It's Presler1S, and see what you can do to help in any way, shape, or form. Okay, what can you do to help to make sure that we collect enough mail-in ballots in all the swing states that allow us for ballot harvesting, so as to totally overwhelm any Democrat advantage going into election day? This is how Florida handles it. This is how Florida does it. This is how Texas does it. They stay competitive with the overwhelming advantage that Democrats have in terms of the percentage of their overall vote that votes by mail. You stay competitive, and then you crush it on election day, and there's nothing they can do. That's what we found in Texas. It's what we found works in North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, Ohio, Iowa, and the like. That's the first thing. Second thing, you got to volunteer as a poll worker in your local election and or as a precinct worker. That's Steve Bannon's precinct strategy. That way we have eyes on the ground auditing the vote as it's being counted. And if they know they're being watched, it's going to be very hard for them to do it. Now, this gets harder in places like in Atlanta, right? And in Philadelphia, where basically the inner cities, they put barriers and they don't let you come in and do it. But we've got to figure out, particularly as a precinct worker, how if we get into the precinct, we make the rules that they have to abide by in terms of the counting. So we can get in the way of that. And we just didn't do it in 2020. We have to do that in 2024. So I think you do those two things. Oh, and then plus make sure if you've moved from a different state in the last 2 years, make sure that your name has been removed from the voter registrations of that state. That's another way they cheat a lot with that. Thanks, Baron Evola. Absolutely. Emma Privacy Bo, love you, Dr. Steve. Your last live stream made me cry. Looking forward for the new app. Thank you, Emma. Please, God bless you. Yeah, it was, it was. I just thought the most important thing yesterday was to just kind of bring you. I mean, look, like I said, I really, when I realized that our relationship was at risk because of the financial depletion. I if you weren't privy to the live stream last night, I said, I've actually talked to my wife about whether or not we had enough savings to retire on. I talked about, which we don't. I talked about whether I should just go back into academia. Life is there's not a lot of stress in libraries and lecture halls. Well, maybe so. Maybe on the campuses now, they're so insane with the cultural Marxists. But one night I couldn't even sleep. What just pounded into me was, I can't leave you. What I mean by that is you mean so much to me. I can't imagine getting up each day and not speaking with you. I have the privilege of speaking to hundreds of thousands of people a day. And that is, well, first of all, it's an extremely, it is a very strong responsibility that I feel. But secondly, the relationships that we have built are just so overwhelming, and they're so powerful being in a network society where we have online relationship, right? We are no longer limited by proximity. I'm no longer limited by the people I live around or work around. I can have relationships with people all over the world, just like we're doing right now. And I am so appreciative of that. And I've fallen so much in love with you guys that I said, there is no way I'm not going to give up without a fight. And that's when my team was coming in and said, well, Dr. Steve, guess what we got? We got this app. I knew it was getting developed, but it's about ready. Wait till you see it. Let's do it. Let's roll it out now. And so thank you. It's been an honor. Emma, thank you so much for your encouragement and your support. Obviously, you're a supporter here. So thank you, guys. If you want to ask a question, just click on the link below. Go to fight.charlietalks.com. Just join any level of support, and it'll enter you exactly where Emma is in our Insiders Club. And we have a private virtual platform where you can ask me questions like this in lieu of YouTube discontinuing our super chats. Thank you, Emma. Love right back to you. Copacetic. Should we really pay attention to poll? Okay. To a poll, no. To a poll, no. But if you have a number of polls that are showing the same thing, yes. Because all the different polling outlets, remember, some are conservative, like Rasmussen tends to be conservative. Trafalgar tends to be conservative. I wouldn't say big data. Rich Barris's poll is conservative, but he is very, very good with numbers. Extremely good with survey and weighting and so forth. And that's the key. Some are leftists, like Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac is pathetically leftist. Some are, New York Times tends to be left. Ironically, even Fox tends to be on the left. I don't know who they hire out for their polling. But you look at all these different polling outlets, all of the data that they bring in with their own sampling, their own weighting systems, and the like, their own methodology. And then you look across the board to see if you're finding any patterns. Are there any clear patterns that are emerging where you have overlaps, known as corroboration? And generally speaking, when we're analyzing, we use corroboration so as to be able to arrive at a reasonably accurate conclusion that what we're seeing is reality. Because again, they have different partisan leanings, they have different methodologies, they have different weighting systems, they have different sampling sizes, different portions of the country, you name it, right? Some are putting +2 Democrat electorate, some are maybe a +1 Republican, whatever. And then what you're doing is you're seeing, are we seeing the same thing? Is there overlap? And if there's overlap coming from different sources, generally that means they're seeing something that's really happening out there. So that's the answer. That's why we should be paying attention to the polls. This does not change the propensity of cheating or the propensity of fraud, but you do not want to make cheating and fraud a self-fulfilling prophecy by saying, oh, well, they're just going to steal it. Well, no, yeah, they sure are. They stole it by keeping you home, by turning you into a low propensity voter. That's how they stole it. So you don't want to give in to the demonic temptations. Thanks, Capacetic. Yeah, so good. So very good. This is a follow-up. So are the Democrats going to let Trump win? No, they're going to no. That is an excellent way of putting it. They are not going to let him win. That doesn't mean he can't. That doesn't mean he's not going to win, right? We just have to be stronger than Democrats. But no, they're going to do everything. They're trying to put him in freaking jail. They're trying to put him in freaking jail. They're going to do anything and everything they possibly can to stop it. No question about that. Bert Arndt, what can Trump do about the RINOs in the Congress? Oh, I know, Bert. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of things. Outside of just kind of waiting for them to finally just, go the way of history, because that's what's going to eventually happen. And make no mistake, the radical Marxist Democrats feel the same way about their neo-libs in power. You saw what the massive demonstration in front of Chuck Schumer's apartment in Brooklyn the other day, where you had mass arrests of pro-Palestinian demonstrations there. They despise Schumer every bit as much as they despise Trump. Yeah, I mean, in the end, they came over to Trump's side in his first term, maybe 40% of the time, 30, 40%. Trump is going to have to demonstrate overwhelming political strength. That's what he's going to have to do. And my personal view is he's going to have to surround himself with some of the most, ornery figures imaginable that scare the living hell out of rhinos. Trump's going to have to make himself look moderate in relation to like General Flynn's and Steve Bannon's and the like. He cannot look like the extreme one. That's going to be very important in terms of his vice presidential pick. He's got to find somebody who's even more quote extreme than it. That what I mean by that is someone that the deep state is scared of even more than Trump. Otherwise, they're going to impeach him a third time and try to put in the more moderate, acceptable group. So I think he's going to have to be politically very strong and radically MAGA. And I think he's going to have to basically, he's going to have to arm wrestle him over to his side. I mean, there's just no way around it. They will cheat on him every moment they can possibly do. That's just what rhinos do. They're part of you saw the Senate vote for the Ukraine package. I mean, you saw it. 70 freaking senators voting for this nonsense. I mean, you saw it. They're a House of Lords. They're that, like from Braveheart, the what is it? The Duke or the Lord, who's a leper, right? Is a symbol of his soul that forces Robert the Bruce to always take the politically expedient side, on the side of the nobles, always go with the nobles, always go where the money and the power is. And we're on the side of Braveheart. So he's just going to have to overwhelm them. That's, I think, just politically. There's no way around it. Thanks, Bert. And gang, if you want to ask me a question, just click on fight.turleytalks.com. There you go. Click on fight.turleytalks.com, sign in for any tier, and it'll automatically enroll you in an insiders club that gives you a private platform to ask me these questions, since YouTube has gotten rid of our super chat. So until then, go fight.turleytalks.com. Also, for all of you sign up for a tier, I'm going to announce your name at the end. Announce your name. I'm going to ring this bell in honor of you being our Bravehearts, our freedom fighters, standing up in defiance of tech tyranny. What do we got there? Josh, do the polls factor in dead voters? That's right. That's not thus far. That's right. That is going to be, but it's so interesting though, Josh, this is so interesting you said that, because even with that, Biden still underperforms. That's the irony. Even with all the cheating, Biden still underperforms. So that's what we'll just have to keep in mind and see. But again, they pulled it off in 2020, barely, by 40,000 votes when all said and done. 10,000 in Arizona, 10,000 in Georgia, 20,000 Wisconsin. Those 20,000 were all thrown out by the Wisconsin Supreme Court. 2 years later, thank you very much, 200,000 mail-in ballots were thrown out because ballot harvesting is now illegal in Wisconsin. But it was deemed unconstitutional. So yeah, so even with all those dead voters, those graveyard constituents, he can barely pull it off. So that's what I mean. Trump is in a stronger position than he's ever been, either in 2016 or 2020. So he should be able to do this even with the cheating. We'll see. Anything can happen. Shoeshine Girl, lately I've been noticing that my comments on YouTube are being removed. Only the ones that state factual truth about the Biden and or our government. Interesting. Yeah, Shoeshine Girl, I would not put anything. I won't put anything past them, honestly. And again, I don't even know if I don't think it's personal. I don't. I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. I think it's an overzealous AI. There's been a number of articles written about that. So we'll have to see. We'll just have to keep an eye on that. So let us know. Keep us up to date. Your comments are never deleted here. That's for sure. We love you. Jason Savern, why doesn't the GOP just mimic the tactics of the Democrats? I'm with you 1,000%. I'm with you 1,000%. I don't know why it's always the Democrats who are crossing the Rubicon. I think we need to do some Rubicon jumping ourselves. I mean, why it's, because in the end, Jason, the Democrats own DC. The Republicans only rent. You may have heard me say that before, but the Democrats own DC. The Republicans only rent. So during the FDR period and the Truman period, they started creating the deep state as we know it today, right? This is the J. Edgar Hoover things and all that sort of stuff. Oh, Josh, our moderator Josh says it's because the Dems will use the legal system against GOP if they did the same things. That's right. It's true. They would actually prosecute the Republicans. Good point, Josh. Well stated. So you had the deep state set up more or less during FDR, Truman period, and then you had 40 years of unencumbered Democrat rule in Congress. 40 freaking years in the House. Finally came to an end with the Gingrich Revolution 94. That solidified the Democrat deep state. Democrats own the cultural systems of our nation at the national level. They don't own us at red state levels, at local levels, and even state levels. That's part of the success of the DeSantis governorship has been, and the Greg Abbott one. They don't own us at the state level. That's why I stress so much the importance of red state sanctuary states. Red state sanctuary states are where it's at. If we lose in 2024, that's going to be huge. It'll probably be the full emphasis of our channel is how we build a mega super state of collage of 28 combination 27, 28 red states to resist the rot of the federal government that is dying. That's the thing. We're seeing it everywhere. Look at the college campuses today. They can't even hold classes. Colleges can't hold classes. They're dying. They are rotting. So what we have to do is we have to make sure we create an arc, a red arc, in order to administrative, bureaucratic walls to keep them out. But that's why, in the end, they own the place. And Republicans have yet to take over. And that's what I'm hoping ultimately MAGA will do. It will take over at the federal level. That's what Schedule F is designed to do in Trump's second term. Will take over. And that's why they can't let him win, because it's an existential threat. They know he'll basically round him up. So anyway, we need to take over and finally be done with this insanity, this woke Democrat insanity once and for all. Couple more questions here. Mark, I got your book. Where is your book? You're getting a shout out, Mark. That is Mark. That is a good friend to this channel. And that is the book that he wrote. And it's published by Silversmith Press, called Killer Tech. I actually did a great interview with Mark. So Mark, great to see you, my friend. Awesome to see you. Supporter of the channel. Really appreciate it. Did you ever think you would be forced into making your own platform and be, wow, I should have talked to you about it, right? And becoming a part of the network society, and you moved away, mass distribution to direct targeted audiences made. I didn't, Mark. I just, it's funny. This is where theory and practice come together. You talk about stuff like this in your book. And again, my team is good. This is why I love my team, gang. This is why please sign up in one of our support tiers, because we got 30 plus people working here at Turley Talks, and they're the ones who do these amazing things. They just free me up to be able to research and to spend time with you guys. Fortunately, they've been ahead of it. They've been ahead of the curve. They've been listening to me more than I've been listening to me. Originally I never even dreamed I'd have an app, and now we've got our own platform. So nothing can, remember, we're staying on all the platforms, just the way, the Israelites, the way they pillaged, they plummeted the Egyptians, right? When in the Exodus, they took the Egyptians' goals. And so we will stay on all the apps, but our Exodus, our arc, to mix my metaphors, my biblical metaphors, there is this app now. Now nothing can, Rumble, Elon Musk's X could all be banned like they're trying to do to TikTok right now. They could all be banned. Our app can never be banned. It is our arc, and our relationship can never, ever be thwarted. So there you go. I'm very excited to do it and following in your footsteps. You're quite the IT guy, Mark. So thank you, sir. Or I should go, you're CTO, not, I want to say IT guy. You're a CTO guy. So thank you, Mark. Very appreciated. Bosco Bubby 57, Dr. Steve, I'm a pole sitter. And why isn't anyone concerned about how easy it is to get into routers since they're connected through Bluetooth? Yeah, okay. Well, we're still waiting on who is it now? I can't even remember. It's the Georgia judge, but where in Georgia? It's not Fulton County. I mean, that's still the only one I have in my head. I forget which county in Georgia. There is a lawsuit brought against electronic voting in Georgia. You probably saw, I've done videos on it. Where they actually had an expert come in and hack the electronic voting devices just with a pen. Did you hear about this? And this judge was blown away at a report that showed just how easy it is to do it. No, I'm with you. I'm with you on it. The problem is, it's again like what Mark writes in his book Killer Tech. Grab it. It's awesome. Could just get, well, I think it's markstrauss.com if I recall. markstrauss.com. Grab a copy of it. It's excellent. The problem is it's tech. It's above us. It's in the cloud. It's not like just going to just volunteering at a poll station or becoming a precinct worker or getting involved in ballot harvesting through early vote action or something. I mean, this is tech stuff and we don't know what to do. And it's kind of foreign to us. No, I'm with you. I think we have to enlist. I think this was Mike Lindell was trying to do, enlist as many patriot techies as possible to try to come in and do something to at least be able to monitor it and audit it, the electronic voting machine side of things. But there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, states are going to have electronic voting. There's no Shasta County, if I recall, in California, they voted overwhelmingly to get rid of it and bring in paper ballots. A few counties have done that, but what are we going to do? I mean, there's just nothing we can do at this point. I mean, we're powerless at that level, which is disgusting. I despise that part. So I'm with you. This is going to be a major concern. Hey, gang, let's do our second and final drawing here. Again, remember, we're drawing names for those of you who downloaded our free app. If I call your name, you're going to have a private one-on-one virtual call with me, your patron professor. We're calling it Office Hours with Dr. Steve. And my second student who has office hours with me is... all right, Lorraine KP. Lorraine KP just contacted us at freedom@turleytalks.com to claim your prize, and I can't wait to meet you online. We're going to have a great chat. Why don't we do some bell ringing for all of you who have signed up for one of our support tier levels? Any monthly support level that you can give is so appreciated, gang. So let me acknowledge all of you who have done that tonight as our monthly supporters. Do we have it? What do we got? What do we got from monthly supporters here, gang? It's quiet. We will do a few and I will add to their... Oh, okay, good. I was like, nobody came to support. I'm getting a note here. We'll do a few and I will add the rest. Got it. All right, keep going. So Sawdust joined up for our gold tier. Thank you, Sawdust, for being a freedom fighter. Very appreciated. More. 1776. We ready for war. Gold tier. God bless, man. Thank you for that. Thank you. FD signs up for our platinum. Thank you, FD. That's for you, my friend. Thank you. A. McAllis, our gold tier. Thank you, A. McAllis. Very appreciated. Truth S. Whoa, we're coming in for our platinum. Let me give you a better ring. There you go. That's better. For our platinum, thank you, Truth S. Very, very kind. Competiro. Thank you, Campatiro. Very kind of you. Thank you for supporting us. Craig S. signed for gold as well. Thank you, Craig S. I'm loving these bell ringing. Keep going. Whoa, Holly H. signed up for our platinum. Again, we're doing a bell ringing for everybody who signed up for one of our tier levels of monthly support during this time. Thank you, guys. Thank you for standing up for us. It's so appreciated. What they got? Tell them about the levels. All right. I show me the levels. I'm forgetting the levels here. Do we have more? There we go. Here's the levels, gang. If you don't know, so bronze is our basic level, and that's where you're entered in all of the levels. You're entered automatically into our Insiders Club. You get to be a part of a fellowship of thousands upon thousands of patriots all over the world. It's really wonderful. We have a live Q&A, just us. Every Monday night, you have direct access to me. You fellowship with your fellow like-minded patriots. And we also have our weekly boycott and boycott updates, so you can vote with your dollars and help build the parallel economy. Let's see, another one. Where is our Scotch with Steve one? Is that our platinum? Make it bigger. I can't see. Yeah. Is it the platinum? You guys tell me. I'll explain it. Let's see. Scotch with Steve. Where is it? It is platinum. So if you sign up with our platinum, you get everything in our bronze and our silver and our gold. With the platinum, we're going to have a special monthly virtual group call. It's going to be more exclusive. We're thinking of calling it Scotch with Steve. I know not everybody drinks, so you don't have to drink. Maybe cigars with him, but not everybody smokes. A special monthly evening with myself online. It's going to be, we're trying to limit it to about 50 people or so, and we're going to do a Zoom call together, and we're going to talk into the wee hours, and you can give me, well, talk about anything you want, but you could give me your video ideas and video topics, people you want me to reach out to interview, and the like. And then, of course, in our top two, Sapphire and Diamond, we have this beautiful bell that we're giving, this commemorative bell. This bell is a beautiful antique brass bell. There's three of them. Each one says faith, the other one says family, the other says freedom, and it's lovely, and it's supposed to be for you a tangible reminder of the liberty that the bell signifies. Remember, bells are a very ancient and profound biblical symbol of freedom, of independence, of at-one-ment, atonement with God Himself, right? That's what the Israelite high priest wore bells on his vestments when he ever ministered into the Holy of Holies, the most sacred place for the Hebrews. Once a year, is behind a veil. No one could see it because of the glory of the Ark of the Covenant there. And if ever he messed up, he could be struck dead. And so whenever people heard the bells going, they knew that the ritualized gestures of their atonement for sins was happening. So they were experiencing life and freedom from sin, death, and the devil. And so when Christ comes as our great high priest, the bell on the top of the church began to represent the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And so this is a signification of our freedom from death and from sin and from Satan himself. And so, gang, we just want to give that to you as a gift if you're in the top two tiers as well. That is a Sapphire and Diamond. So do we have any more bell ringing? How are we doing here? Any more? Oh, we do. We got Patriots 1776 silver. Let me get a better bell. Thank you, Patriots 1776. Great to hear. Rick B. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for blessing us with your gift. Jill S. also in silver. Thank you, Jill. Thanks for signing up. It's so appreciated. M.H. Cox, also a silver level supporter. Thank you, M.H. Cox. Thank you. Pat K. Thank you, Pat. I'm getting a note. These are all silver supporters. Thank you for our silver supporters, gang. Thank you, Pat. Lights Wrath. Another silver supporter. Thank you, Lights Wrath. Clark. Another silver supporter. You guys like silver? All right, let's do it. Love it. Long K. Another silver supporter. Thank you, Long K. Very appreciated. Viva Leroy. I hope I said it right. Viva Leroy. That bell is for you, my friend. Thank you so much, Viva Leroy. Elia, you are gold. Good to see you. Another gold. I love gold. Oh, thanks, Elia. Thank you so much. Marco, silver supporter. I love the name Marco. Marcos, great to see you. Thank you. Felder. Thank you, Felder. He's joined our silver. Wow, we got a lot of people joining levels tonight. Awesome. SW Bauer, a silver supporter. Thank you, FW or SW. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all of you who joined our higher tiers here, our levels of support. It means so much. Seriously, if we get enough people joining those tiers, we can literally tell YouTube where to stick it. We certainly don't need none of their stinking Google AdSense. Also, gang, when you sign up, you're going to get a very important declaration of restoration sent to you in your email. And what this declaration of restoration is it really is, it's a petition to these big tech tyrants to let them know that their days of controlling us are over. They no longer control us. We're taking our nation back. I'll give you a little bit. I read it, the full thing last night, but I'll just give you a little sense. When you sign up, so you go to fight.turleytalks.com and put in all your user information, and then you're going to get a special message in your inbox, and it's going to give you a link to sign this declaration of restoration. And it really is a petition to big tech tyrants to let them know we're not playing by their rules anymore. And I'll just give you, I won't read the whole thing, but here's what it says. In the course of human events, when it becomes necessary for a people to reaffirm and restore the principles of liberty, justice, and the pursuit of happiness, it is the people's duty to facilitate and declare the restoration of these truths that our founding fathers established. So that's why we don't call it Declaration of Independence. It's not so much negative, so that we're no longer under power. It's more a declaration of restoration. We are going to collectively restore the country that we love. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We do recognize that the government should derive its powers from the consent of the governed, and that its true purpose is to secure these rights. We, the people, refers to all loyal Americans, and this is a full declaration for said people. So we, the people of this great nation, reflecting on the wisdom of our forefathers and the current state of America, declare our commitment to the following foundational principles of restoration. Firstly, the sacred right to freedom, personal sovereignty, and the pursuit of individual happiness is for all. These rights extend to all people, regardless of race, gender, religion, or background. Secondly, the purpose of the government is to serve the people and protect their rights. It is essential that this government remain limited, transparent, and completely accountable to the governed, and must not infringe on the liberties it was created to preserve. Thirdly, the rule of law applied justly and equally to all citizens, regardless of position or privilege. No one is above the law. Fourthly, a free and open society that protects the expression and exchange of ideas and information. We must recognize the importance of a free press and the right to assemble peacefully. Fifthly, the absolute necessity for economic freedom. Individuals have the opportunity to create and pursue prosperity. This is achieved through innovation, hard work, and free enterprise with no interference in the government. Sixthly, the essential requirement to protect and defend our nation's sovereignty and the safety of the American citizens. This happens while still respecting the sovereignty of other nations. Seventhly, for all citizens to actively participate in the democratic process. They shall vote, serve their communities, and hold their elected representatives accountable for their actions. The erosions of the Christian faith on which our forefathers founded America continues to decay the hearts of the people, sowing division and mistrust. The sanctity of the family, the cornerstone of our society, crumbles and breeds discord. Our cherished freedoms, once a beacon of hope and light to all Americans, is threatened by an overreaching government. And yet, even amidst these trials, we, the faithful patriots of America, reaffirm our right to be free in a nation known for its enduring commitment to liberty and justice. It is through adversity that America has found her strength, and we, the people, will continue to fight and defend the foundational truths that make this country great. We must live up to the ideals our nation was founded on and must protect and preserve our freedoms to remain the strongest nation in the world. The foundational principles of our country must be protected and remain firm against those who seek to destroy America's lasting principles through the thievery of the aforementioned unalienable freedoms. So we, the people, pledge to rekindle the flames of faith. We will strengthen the bonds of family, recognize our fellow man as made in the image of God, and we will stand vigilant in safeguarding our freedoms, ensuring the principles above endure for generations to come. These ideals will thrive as we collectively forge a path forward from this moment on to secure faith, family, and freedom. And we do so with a deep sense of duty, a commitment to unity, and an unwavering belief that the principles of liberty and justice shall endure for generations to come. In witness whereof, we set our signatures and dedicate ourselves to this declaration of restoration on this day to ensure that our great nation continues to be a beacon of freedom, justice, and opportunity for all. I couldn't stop. I read the whole thing. I couldn't stop. That is just so inspiring. It is so cool. And that is for you to sign. And we're going to send a link or something to Big Tech and say, your days of calling the shots are over. Now we are going to restore the nation that we love. And we're going to bury wokeness once and for all. Let me give a little shout out to some of you who have downloaded the app tonight. I'm so appreciative of it as we finish off. Aniette, Labreza, Lovely, F-Ball 214 Life, Ed 42. I was doing this last night and people were coming in right around the time I was doing, and they're like, what the heck is he doing? Is he a quarterback? What is it? Just setting out all these codes? Are these codes for us to take over? What is this? Skylane 685, J Daw for Freedom Speech, J Bird, Chairman 53, Pray for Our Leaders, Cheryl Strauss, Danny Stammy, SJU Wana, David B, PN-Tang, Metal Taurus, Janice Lynn, R. Gervais, Peaches, is it GA Quas, Georgia Quas, and D Man Kent Loose. And there's so many more. And I frankly can't read all those usernames. There's so many. Wow. Huge amount. Gang, thank you for downloading all of these. Here are all the new members if you want to give them a shout out in the robot made. Yeah, Shaz 1987, Recon 57, Michael T. Wagner, Watchman 1957, R. Fajardo 1988, Carl Raven, Offslip, D. Westwood 17, Willie Jacks 1, Senior 26, Sylvia WC, Forever Fun, Phil Dash Ryder, MAGA 2024, RWSP, Levy, Andrew, J. Toledo, Bigfoot 6311, AR Manley, Hardball 001, 364916, Snowsden, Queen, Mark Moore, Cato 66, C-Day J6, Deborah Dog, Deb Boar Dog, Rihanna 68, CC Craft 818, RN Becky 0707, Dory, Uper PJ, Ogre, Old School Christian Nationalist. Whoop! There you go. Oliver, Nature Girl, Bab Brewer, 1748, Jesse 9960, Alma Grant, Andy P, and Maratolib 10, and Mike 7. And there's so much more. Oh, man. Yeah, if I kept reading, we'd be here for another 15 minutes. You guys are freaking believable. Fight.turleytalks.com. Fight.turleytalks.com. Please share that URL with friends and family and patriots in your life. The more that join, the stronger we're going to be. We're over 3,000. Looks like by the end of this night, it's going to be over 4,000. Keep it coming, gang. This is absolutely amazing. I can't thank you enough for standing by our side during this time. Again, if you join the support tiers, we're not going to miss a dime from Google AdSense. We're going to be able to take care of the 30 plus people who work here, who deliver for you each and every single day. Gang, I love you. God bless you. Remember, fight.turleytalks.com, fight.turleytalks.com. Download your app, support us in one of the tiers, and we are going to stick it to big tech, and we're going to build the nation back to the way we love it. God bless, gang. Thanks for joining.